Hi, it's Akane. Today I'm gonna talk about some shocking topic. If you wanna lose fat, eat. You might be thinking, eat more to lose fat? How does it work? Well, today I'm going to introduce a diet method for those who think they need to reduce their food intake to lose fat. I'll share how I've successfully managed to lose fat by eating the right way. Suddenly, I have a question for you. Are you completely confident in your diet method? What kind of diet and bodybuilding experience have you had? Many of you watching this video might think that to lose weight, you need to cut down on food and do intense exercise. Generally, through social media, incorrect information is widespread. 5 minutes exercise a day, carbohydrate restrictions. Some of you might have actually lost weight using one of these methods. However, if you are watching this video, it's likely that over time, you return to your original weight or perhaps even gained more. The main reason you might not want to repeat your last diet is probably because it's too hard to continue. Yes, while you're on those tough diets, you can't really lose fat. In fact, like many of you, I too used to excessively restrict carbohydrates and even fasted for nearly a week to lose weight, only to end up gaining more weight. I'd binge eat and vomit every day. So that period was most physically and mentally draining time of my life. After I was exhausted from repeated cycle, extreme dieting and binge eating, I decided to stop being swayed by social media. I read numerous research papers and books on nutrition and exercise physiology, dedicating a significant amount of time to acquiring the right diet knowledge under the guidance of professional personal trainer. This extensive study helped me understand why my previous diet had repeatedly failed, and I was able to discover an effective and sustainable method for fat loss. Unfortunately, the dieting of not eating only kept me away from reducing body fat. If I had continued on that path, I would never have achieved a healthy body and mind. However, through the diet method I'm introducing today, I smoothly achieved a 10 kg weight loss and reduced my body fat by 6%. I overcame the past unstoppable snacking, and it has significantly changed my life. And now I continue to my figure without any stress. But you might think, oh, you're young, of course lose weight quickly. But in reality, my 60 years old mother also successfully lost 80 kg and reduced her body fat by 4% using this method, all without any exercise. Today, I'm going to break down this diet, specialized in losing body fat while eating, into 5 simple steps. If you follow the point of the diet I'm introducing, no matter your age, you can definitely lose fat without any intense exercise. If you're looking to curb unstoppable snacking, lose belly fat without depriving yourself of food, or wear the clothes you truly desire, then this video will solve all your dieting concerns. Without knowing the contents of this video, you might never end your dieting struggle. So if you want to achieve and maintain your ideal body for life, make sure to watch until the end. Secondly, I have a question for you. What do you think is essential for a diet to successfully reduce fat? You might consider options like low-calorie meals or creating fasting periods, but these aren't fundamentally essential. To understand the answer, it's crucial first to comprehend the fat reduction process, which is vital for achieving results quickly. So fat reduction happens through 3 steps. Initially, creating a calorie deficit by consuming fewer calories than you burn is crucial. When a calorie deficit occurs, the glycogen stored in the muscle and the liver is used up. As its glycogen is depleted, the brain signals the breakdown of body fat into fatty acid, which is then transported to the muscle through the bloodstream and used as energy. Thus, without creating this initial calorie deficit, no amount of effort, even intense exercise, will yield result. You might think this means you have to stick to a strict diet, right? Not at all. You might have tried dieting through carb restriction or fasting, and indeed, this method can lead to quick weight loss. However, most of the weight loss with this method is just water and the contents temporarily reduced from the organs, not actually body fat. Take a look at this photo. These 2 women weigh the same, but their appearances are drastically different because of their different body fat percentage. A person's appearance is primarily determined by body fat percentage, not just weight. Even if you lose weight, if it's due to water or contents from the organs, it won't reduce fat in areas like stomach, arms, or lower body. Moreover, once you return to your regular diet, the water and contents can quickly return, and so does the weight. On the other hand, when you reduce body fat, even smaller change in weight can dramatically alter your appearance. Think about it, when you lost 4 kilograms, did you see a big change in your appearance like in the photo? If not, it means your dieting isn't effectively reducing body fat. The real goal of dieting isn't just to lose weight, but to reduce body fat. It's important to understand that reducing weight and reducing body fat are not the same. Moreover, diet like carb restriction, calorie restriction, and fasting ignore essential nutrients and create a calorie deficit. This diet triggers the brain to feel an energy deficiency, causing the body to switch to energy-saving mode, which lowers metabolism. In this state, the brain commands you to eat more and further suppress metabolism. As a result, food intake increases, energy burning decreases, and fat stores, making it hard to lose fat. In fact, research in obesity shows that drastically reducing calories increases the secretion of ghrelin, a hormone that boosts appetite. Even after returning to normal diet, elevated ghrelin levels can persist for about a year. This can lead to overeating due to stress and other triggers, making rebound weight gain more likely. That's why it's crucial to maintain a long-term calorie deficit without making the brain feel starved by balancing nutrients properly. So the method of creating calorie deficit easily and stably called Ichiju Sansai. Ichiju Sansai, which means 1 soup, 3 dishes. But you might think, Ichiju Sansai, what's that? It sounds complicated. As I mentioned earlier, maintaining a balanced nutrient is crucial to avoid entering energy-saving mode and to effectively reducing body fat. In fact, the Japanese Ichiju Sansai meal style perfectly incorporates all the nutrients needed for fat loss. This may be one of the reasons why obesity rates are low and longevity is high in Japan. However, at first glance, this style of eating might seem labor-intensive and perhaps daunting for those who prefer bread and pasta. Yet the Ichiju Sansai I'm introducing here is not just traditional diet. It's specifically tailored to efficiently reduce fat. And by following a few simple points, you can customize it to suit your preference. So this approach allows anyone to achieve stable calorie deficit over the long term without reducing food intake. But you might think, really, just changing my diet is enough? You must have done intense exercise, right? Many people believe that intense exercise will lead to fat loss. Yes, exercise does burn calories, but amount is minimal. For example, about 184 calories are burned in 30 minutes of intense aerobic exercise, which is roughly equivalent to 2 pieces of fried chicken. A study comparing a diet focus group to one combining diet and exercise found no significant difference in effectiveness. Moreover, it's challenging to maintain daily exercise routine, often limiting people to about 3 sessions per week. Especially for beginners without habit of regular exercise, starting an exercise regimen can increase the difficulty of sustaining a diet and often leads to quitting. On the other hand, we cannot live without eating. Therefore, by revising the daily habit of eating and incorporating method of slim down while eating, you can steadily reduce your body fat and move closer to your ideal body. Actually, I've always struggled with exercise and have repeatedly failed at exercise-centric diet in the past. However, by first revising my eating habit and reducing body fat, then incorporating exercise and training, I have been able to maintain this lifestyle without stress. So you might wonder, how long does it take to see the effect of dieting? It typically takes about 3 months to feel the effect. This is because the human body can only reduce body fat by a maximum of 50 grams per day. At this rate, you can expect to lose about 1 to 3 grams body fat per month. In contrast, water and other bodily contents can fluctuate by 2 to 3 grams in a day. According to a study by National Institute of Health, while 6-day carb restriction led to 1.8 kg weight loss, the actual reduction in body fat was only 250 grams. This highlights how much of diet information available online lacks solid foundation. You might think losing 1 kg body fat per month is too little. However, if you manage to lose total of 3 kg body fat over 3 months, the change will be noticeable even when wearing clothes. Let's break down Ichiju Sansai meal plan. It is specifically designed to lose fat into 5 steps. The first step involves arranging the main carbohydrate dish. The first thing you should do is ensure include at least 1 type of rice, bread, noodle, or potato in every meal. This staple meal provides not only carbohydrate but also surprisingly vitamin and minerals. The recommended intake of carbohydrate is 200 to 230 grams per day, which is about 1 bowl of rice or 2 slices of bread per meal. You might wonder, can I really eat so many carbohydrates without gaining weight? But rest assured, fat will not increase unless your calorie intake exceeds the calorie you burn. And over-reducing your carbohydrate intake can cause the brain to perceive an energy shortage, leading to uncontrollable sugar craving and decrease in metabolism, making it impossible to create calorie deficit, no matter how hard you try. For those unsure about what main dish to eat, I recommend whole grain product with a low degree of processing. Research shows that when choosing staple food, low-processed whole grain compared with highly processed refined grain lead to consuming additional 100 calories per day just through digestion and metabolism, and they also experience a longer-lasting feeling of fullness. Moreover, low-processed whole grain foods are rich in vitamins and minerals. You might wonder, why are vitamins and minerals necessary for the body? These nutrients are crucial, as they require when nutrients combined energy in the brain and muscle. To prevent the interruption of the fat-reducing process and the conversion of the nutrients into energy, always include main carbohydrates in your meal. Second step involves adding soup to every meal. In this step, usually include soups made with vegetable, mushroom, and seafood. Do you already include soup as a regular part of your meals? It is not widely known, but soup is a powerful meal for losing fat. Many people might not have the habit eating soup regularly and are missing out significantly. This is because consuming soup makes it much easier to create calorie deficit. Soup provides a large amount of water, which expands the stomach. When the stomach expands, satiety hormones are released and send fullness signal to the brain, so helping you prevent overeating more than you might think. For example, without soup in their meal, person A might feel unsatisfied and end up eating 1.5 times their usual portion of the main dish. On the other hand, person B, who has soup included in their meals, tends to not overeat. The calorie intake between the two can differ by about 250 calories. Since 250 calories translates to about 35 grams body fat, maintaining this over 1 month can lead to loss of 1 kilogram of body fat, and over 3 months it can result in 3 kg difference. I include ingredients rich in dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals, such as spinach and mushroom in my miso soup at every meal. Looking back, when I lacked the habit of drinking soup because I was too busy, I always tend to overeat. Actually, making soup is surprisingly easy. It can be prepared in just 2 to 3 minutes. However, for those who are busy or short on time, even instant soup can be effective for fat reduction when you are at work or on the go. Furthermore, the reason why miso soup, commonly consumed by Japanese people, is good for dieting is that lactic acid bacteria in miso can increase beneficial bacteria, thereby improving gut health and offering a 2-for-1 benefit. The third step Ichiju Sansai meal plan involves placing the main dish. In this step, it should always include at least one type of meat, fish, eggs, dairy, beans, or protein in each meal. Do you know how much protein and fat you consume daily? The recommended intake is 90 grams of protein and 40 grams of fat. For example, for breakfast, you could have 30 grams of protein and 100 grams of Greek yogurt. For lunch, a chicken salad and 2 boiled eggs, and 100 grams of salmon with tofu for dinner. If you are currently having just oatmeal or sweet bread for breakfast, you might be making it difficult to create calorie deficit due to protein deficiency, which can lead to disordered eating and slower metabolism. This is because protein is essential for organs, nerve cells, and muscles, and that can cause the brain to trigger strong hunger signals and switch to energy-saving mode, which increases appetite and lowers metabolism. However, many protein-rich foods also contain fat, which can lead to most dieters to consume too much fat unintentionally. To smoothly reduce fat, it's important to grasp 2 key points about how to choose your main dish. First, actively include lean protein, such as chicken breast, eggs, salmon, tuna, and lentils. But you don't need to completely eliminate fat, since they are crucial for building cell membranes and producing hormones that help with satiety. Initially, it's okay not to calculate perfectly, but try to consistently reduce visible white fat in meat. Second, opt for a cooking method like boiling, baking, or steaming, which can help reduce unnecessary calorie intake. For example, swapping fried chicken for steamed chicken can save you about 240 calories, which is equivalent to a bowl of rice can make significant impact. So when you have the option to decide your meals, try to incorporate boiling, baking, and steaming more actively. By now, we should have learned about incorporating carbohydrates from the staple food and protein and fat from the main dish. However, we are still lacking nutrient crucial for effective fat reduction. It's dietary fiber. The fourth step involves adding side dishes to every meal. Just so you know, it's okay if you can't prepare perfect ichijunsensai meal every time. When you are really busy, as long as you have staple, main dish, and soup, you can supplement the remaining dietary fiber with fruits or other supplements. So why is it necessary to include side dishes? Actually, dietary fiber has the effect of reducing fat. Therefore, to facilitate your fat loss, it is advisable to include as much as possible. So in this step, you should aim to consume a total of 300 grams of vegetable, seaweed, and mushroom per day, considering 20 grams to 30 grams per item as a guideline. You might think this is just to increase the volume of vegetable you consume. The reason dietary fiber side dishes is so effective in reducing fat lies in short-chain fatty acid. Studies have shown that dietary fiber ferment in the intestine to produce a substance called short-chain fatty acid. This substance acts as a switch that activates the sympathetic nervous system. When this switch is turned on, it raises body temperature and heart rate, thereby boosting basal metabolism and automatically increasing calorie burn. This substance also sends numerous satiety signals to the brain, helping to prevent overeating and snacking and naturally reducing calorie intake. Thus, dietary fiber plays dual role. It increases calorie burn and reduces calorie intake, so making it much easier to create calorie deficit. By now, you should have learned about the nutrients needed to reduce fat and how to incorporate them. In the final step, let's review exactly how much of each nutrient you should be consuming. First, from the staple food, you should have 200 to 230 grams carbohydrates along with essential vitamins and minerals. From the main dishes, the recommended intake is 90 grams of protein and 40 grams of fat. Side dishes and soup should add 20 to 30 grams fiber and any vitamin and minerals that are lacking. Among vitamins, vitamin B2 is particularly effective for reducing body fat. Research has shown that deficiency in vitamin B2 can decrease the body ability to convert body fat into energy, thereby increasing the risk of obesity. Vitamin B2 primarily found in foods like seaweed, mushrooms, eggs, and liver, so it's a good idea to incorporate these in your main dish and side dish. This will bring your total daily calorie intake to about 1500 calories. However, calorie needs can vary based on height and weight, so adjust your carbohydrate intake to fit within a range of 1400 to 1700 calories. So the calorie distribution for breakfast, lunch, and dinner should be approximately 500 plus or minus 100 calories each, so allowing flexibility increase or decrease as preferred. For example, if you prefer larger dinner, you might allocate 400 calories for breakfast, 500 calories for lunch, and 600 calories for dinner. Conversely, if you prefer large breakfast, the distribution could be 600 calories for breakfast, 400 calories for lunch, and 500 calories for dinner. Here's an example meal. Breakfast could include a slice of whole grain bread, instant soup, scrambled eggs and low-fat mayonnaise, milk, and sweetened Greek yogurt, and a kiwi as a side. Checking the calorie and nutritional balance of this meal. Each meal provides about 465 calories, with all nutrients properly balanced. Research shows that skipping breakfast increases the risk of obesity, so skipping breakfast is not recommended. However, for those who find breakfast difficult or don't have time to cook in the morning, I recommend a protein smoothie. A specific menu could include 1 banana, 30 grams of oatmeal, 30 grams of protein, unsweetened Greek yogurt, and blueberry as a side. Even with this simple menu, checking the actual calorie intake and nutritional balance shows that each meal has about 441 calories, so with the all nutrient agreement. If you need more variety, please receive the free gifts that include a collection of easy breakfast recipes and secret to successful diet breakfast from the link in the description. Next, I'll introduce menu for lunch and dinner. One option is 120 grams of brown rice as a staple food, cabbage soup, grilled chicken as a main dish, and side dishes of spinach salad and orange, totaling 458 calories. You could also replace the main dish with tofu burger. Tofu burger is a tasty option even for those who don't like chicken breast. Again, it's okay if every meal isn't perfectly set meal like this. Try to increase the frequency of composing your meal in the Ichiju Sansai style, which includes the main dish, soup, and the side dish as much as possible. After hearing this explanation, some of you might feel that fat doesn't seem to come off with such a gradual approach. It's okay to be gradual, because due to human physiology, anyone can only lose about 50 grams of body fat per day. Indeed, severe carb restriction or fasting can drop fat quickly, but just water and the contents temporarily exiting the organs, not actually body fat being lost. Furthermore, diets that temporarily reduce weight always compromise metabolism. So eventually, even if you eat less, you won't be able to lose body fat, and you will drift further from your ideal body. Therefore, instead of diet involving endurance and pain, revise your daily eating habit and continue with diets that let you eat and lose weight will reliably bring results. So I called gradual, the method introduced today can actually shed about 30 to 50 grams body fat daily. If you apply today's eating method and manage to reduce 30 grams body fat daily, you can decrease your body fat percentage by 5% in a few months and by 10% in 6 months, with noticeable change around your belly. Dieting isn't magic that transforms in a week, but if you carefully and consistently build on what you can do, results will follow anyone equally. I've also accumulated a small, consistent effort and achieved results beyond my imagination. True dieting isn't about temporary measures. It's about developing sustainable eating habits that support your ideal weight, physique, and health for a lifetime. And establishing the best eating habit for your body is arguably the most cost-effective investment you can make in yourself. With this habit, you can maintain a vibrant and healthy body at any age. But if you can't be perfect from the start, don't blame yourself. If it feels too hard, are you perhaps overdoing it or setting unrealistic timelines? Are you trying to lose too much fat too quickly? Take a moment to reflect and adjust. And if you watched my video this far, you can definitely succeed just as well. The fact you've watched until the end is proof of your ability, put in effort. Turn this into confidence and start applying what you've learned today. I'm so grateful that you watched this video intently. I hope you learn an effective method to reduce body fat and achieve the best shape of your life in half a year. For those who are tired of strict diet and want to learn the right way to lose fat effectively, I'm offering 10 exclusive gifts for free. The Ultimate Guide to Eating for Fat Loss, detailed 50-page ebook. A meal plan template and easy recipe for fat loss that ensure balanced intake of essential nutrients. A complete breakfast guide featuring the secret to successful fat loss breakfast and 5-minute breakfast recipes. A detailed guide 40 pages explaining scientifically backed method to control snacking. 50 recommended food for healthy fat loss and much more. These gifts are packed with all the information you need right now. If you are serious about transforming your life through successful fat loss, I also offer premium kit for limited stock, providing you free fat loss guidance. I can provide support for your health concerns and questions, so be sure to check it out. These gifts are supervised by registered dietitian and based on scientific evidence. You can receive all gifts by clicking the link in the red frame in the description box below this video. The gifts are available for a limited time, so please receive them before they are gone. You might wonder why I'm offering these for free. I'm not just trying to increase subscribers or views. I manage this channel with a mission of solving your health concern and helping you maintain a healthy lifestyle for life. I have strong desire not to let others suffer through dieting like I did it in the past. Therefore, all these bonuses are completely free. Please take advantage of them and enjoy a new way of eating. In this video, I introduce a 5 method for effectively reduce body fat. To reduce fat, it's not about restricting carbs or fasting, but about stabilizing calorie deficit while preventing disruption in appetite and metabolism. No one is perfect from the start, so let's carefully build on what we can do one step at a time. And remember, you're already wonderful just as you are. Explore this new version of yourself with excitement and enjoy your healthy diet. On this channel, I also deliver easy-to-understand information based on scientific evidence about diet methods that help reduce fat while enjoying your meals. If you found this video helpful, a like and comment would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.